Funny, isn't it? How they all looked at you like a fragile little toy, a puppet for their strings, a weak shadow of yourself they could manipulate, control, and laugh at behind your back. They never imagined you'd grow a spine, that you'd actually stand up and walk away. Nah, they thought they owned you, that you'd stay, chained to their games, their lies, their little illusions of power. But now they know. They know the strength it takes to leave, to cut the cord, to stop playing their pathetic little charade. And trust me, they hate you for it. Oh, they'll smile to your face, act like they're happy for you. But deep down, deep down they're burning. Because walking away, really walking away, takes guts. And that's something they'll never have. You see, people like them. They're parasites. They latch on, sucking your energy, your time, your soul. They don't want you to see the truth because the truth makes you dangerous. It makes you free. And free people? Oh, free people terrify the ones still stuck in their cages. You ever notice how quick they are to mock you, to tear you down when you try to change? That's fear talking. They're afraid that if you rise, you'll leave them behind. And you did. You left. And now they're scrambling, trying to fill the void you left behind. But let's not kid ourselves. Leaving wasn't easy, was it? Nah, it tore you apart. You questioned everything. Am I doing the right thing? Will I regret this? Will I fail without them? Oh, the doubt was suffocating, wasn't it? It felt like walking through fire. Every step heavier than the last. But guess what? You made it out. You're here, breathing, standing on your own 2 feet. And that's a victory they'll never understand. Let me tell you something about pain. Pain is a teacher, a ruthless one, but a teacher nonetheless. It shows you who you are when everything else is stripped away. It reveals the raw, unpolished core of your soul. And you've been through enough pain to light up this whole damn city, but you didn't let it destroy you. Nah, you turned it into fuel. You used it to build yourself piece by bloody piece. And that's why they hate you. Because you proved them wrong. They never thought you had the strength to walk away. They never thought you'd survive without their approval, their validation. But here you are, stronger, sharper, more dangerous than ever. And now they know. Oh, they know. Let me give you a little secret about people like them. They don't want you to grow because your growth highlights their stagnation. Your strength reminds them of their weakness. Your freedom is a mirror, reflecting their chains. And that's something they can't handle. You walking away? That wasn't just an act of defiance. That was a declaration of war. It said, I don't need you. I never did. And trust me, they'll try to claw their way back into your life. They'll sweet talk, manipulate, even guilt you into coming back. But you're smarter now, aren't you? You see through their tricks. Let me ask you something. Do you really think they cared about you? Like, really cared? Or were you just convenient, a tool to boost their ego to make their lives easier? Yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but swallow it. You must. Because the truth is, if they truly cared, they'd have supported you. They'd have celebrated your growth instead of trying to stifle it. But don't get me wrong, walking away doesn't make you heartless. It makes you human. It shows you have boundaries, self-respect, and the courage to demand more from life. And isn't that what life's about? Growth, change, evolution. Staying in the same toxic cycle isn't loyalty. It's self-destruction. You see, strength isn't about how much you can endure. It's about knowing when to stop enduring, when to say, enough is enough. And you had the guts to say it. That's what separates the strong from the weak. But let me warn you, the road ahead isn't easy. It's lonely, cold, and unforgiving. You'll face doubts, fears, and temptations to go back. But every step forward is a step toward freedom, toward the life you deserve. And isn't that worth fighting for? So let them talk, let them judge, let them spew their venom, because at the end of the day, their words mean nothing. Actions, my friend. Actions speak louder than their hollow whispers. And your action, walking away, that was the loudest scream of all. They never thought you had the strength to walk away, but now they know. And trust me, they'll never forget it. You think walking away was the end of it? Oh no, my friend. It's just the beginning. See, the real battle starts now. Out there, in the world that doesn't give a damn about you. You'll feel the weight of silence, the ache of absence, and the sharp sting of memories that refuse to die. But that's where your strength will truly shine. Let me tell you a little something about silence. It's loud, deafening. It forces you to listen to the voices you've been drowning out with distractions. Those voices will whisper your fears, your doubts, your failures, and you'll want to run. Oh, you'll want to escape, but you won't, because you've already done the hardest thing. You walked away. They never thought you could. They underestimated you. That's what people do, don't they? They put you in a box, slap a label on it, and expect you to stay there. It makes them comfortable, knowing where to place you in their little hierarchy. But the moment you step out, the moment you shatter their expectations, they lose their minds. Because now, you're unpredictable. Now, you're a threat. You know what they fear the most? Losing control. They're terrified of the moment they realize you don't need them, that you never needed them. And when you walked away, you snatched their control right out of their hands. Oh, They'll never admit it, but you see it in their eyes, don't you? The panic, the desperation. It's almost funny, but let's not sugarcoat it. They'll fight back. They'll try to pull you down, drag you back into the mud. They'll throw every insult, every lie, every twisted memory they can muster at you. And why? Because your freedom is a reminder of their chains. Your strength is a mirror reflecting their weakness. Do you know what the most dangerous thing in this world is? A person who has nothing left to lose. That's what you are now. You've let go of the weight they placed on you, the expectations, the lies, the guilt. You've cut the strings. And now? Now you're free to be whoever the hell you want to be. But freedom is scary, isn't it? It's uncharted territory. No maps, no guidebooks, no safety nets. It's just you, standing at the edge of the unknown. But here's the thing. They don't want you to explore it. They don't want you to find out how far you can go. Because the moment you do, you'll leave them in the dust. And they hate that. They hate the thought of you thriving without them. They hate the thought of you proving them wrong. That's why they'll try to sabotage you. They'll whisper doubts into your ear, remind you of your failures, and twist your memories to make you question yourself. Don't let them. You know what I've learned? People will always try to rewrite your story, twist the narrative to make themselves look better. But here's the truth. They weren't the heroes. They were the villains. And you? You were the one fighting to survive in their messed up world. Let me tell you something about scars. They're not just reminders of pain. They're proof that you survived. Every cut, every bruise, every wound, they're badges of honor. They show that you've been through hell and come out the other side. So, wear them proudly. Don't hide them. Let them see what you've endured, what you've overcome. And don't you dare let them make you feel guilty for leaving. Guilt is their weapon, their way of keeping you chained. But guilt only works if you let it. Remember this, you didn't walk away because you were weak. You walked away because you were strong enough to demand better. You see, they wanted you to stay because your presence made their lives easier. You were their punching bag, their scapegoat, their source of validation. But you realized something, didn't you? You realized that staying meant losing yourself. And that was a price too high to pay. They'll never understand that, though. They'll call you selfish, ungrateful, even cruel. But you and I both know the truth. You didn't leave because you stopped caring. You left because you started caring about yourself. And that takes courage. But here's the kicker. They'll never admit they were wrong. Oh no, their pride won't let them. They'll twist the story, paint themselves as the victims, and you as the villain. Let them. Their lies don't define you. Your actions do. And your action, walking away, that was the most powerful move you could have made. It wasn't just a step, it was a statement. It said, I deserve better. I am better. And that's what scares them the most. So let them hate you. Let them talk. Let them stew in their own bitterness. Because at the end of the day, their opinions don't matter. What matters is that you found the strength to stand up, to walk away, and to build a life on your own terms. And that's something they'll never take away from you. You think they'll stop thinking about you? You think your absence will go unnoticed? Oh no, my friend. They'll feel it. They'll feel it in the empty spaces you used to fill, in the silence that echoes after your laughter's gone. They'll feel it in the weight of their own loneliness, a weight they never expected to bear because they always assumed you'd be there. Let me tell you how people like them operate. They don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. And when it's gone, oh, they'll scramble. They'll claw at the air, trying to grasp something that's no longer there. But you're already out of reach. You've become the ghost they can't haunt, the shadow they can't escape. But don't fool yourself into thinking they'll take responsibility. No, no, no. They'll rewrite history first. They'll paint you as the villain in their little tragedy. You see, they can't admit they were wrong because that would mean facing themselves. And facing themselves, that's the one thing they'll never do. Here's the kicker though. It doesn't matter. Their lies, their twisted versions of the story, none of it matters. Because the truth doesn't need defending. It stands tall, unshaken by the storm of their accusations. You know why you left. You know what they did. And that knowledge, that's your armor. But let's not pretend it's all smooth sailing from here. No. The road ahead is going to test you in ways you can't even imagine. The temptation to go back will hit you when you least expect it. It'll creep in during the quiet moments, whispering sweet lies about how it wasn't that bad, about how maybe you overreacted. That's the trap. The lie they want you to believe. And you've got to be smarter than that. You've got to remember the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you felt invisible, the countless times you swallowed your pride just to keep the peace. Don't romanticize the past. It wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare. And you woke up. But waking up isn't enough. You've got to stay awake. Stay vigilant. Because the moment you let your guard down, they'll try to slither back into your life. They'll come bearing apologies, promises, even tears. And it'll all seem so genuine, so sincere. But remember this, They're not sorry for what they did. They're sorry you found the strength to walk away. They'll try to guilt you, too. Oh, they're good at that. They'll say things like, "We were just trying to help," or "You misunderstood us." But you didn't misunderstand a damn thing. You saw them for what they were, for what they are, and that clarity, that's your weapon. You've got to keep moving forward, step by step, no matter how heavy the weight feels. Because every step away from them is a step toward yourself, toward freedom, toward a life that's yours and yours alone. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about revenge. Revenge is a fool's game. It ties you to the very people you're trying to escape. No, this is about growth, about evolution, about becoming the person you were always meant to be, without their chains holding you back. And that person, that person is going to terrify them, because that person doesn't need them. That person doesn't crave their approval, their validation. That person is whole, complete, unstoppable. But here's the catch. It's not going to happen overnight. Change is slow, painful, messy. You're going to stumble, fall, question yourself. But every time you get back up, every time you push forward, you're proving them wrong all over again. And isn't that the ultimate victory? Not their pain, not their regret, but your growth, your transformation. That's what they fear the most. Not losing you, but losing the version of you they could control. So keep walking. Let their whispers fade into the distance. Let their shadows grow smaller with every step you take. Because this path, it's yours now, and no one, not them, not anyone, can take it from you. But don't forget, this isn't just about them. It's about you, about reclaiming your power, your voice, your life. And that's the greatest revenge of all. Not hurting them, but healing yourself. And when they look at you, when they see what you've become, they'll realize the truth. They never thought you had the strength to walk away. But now they know. And they'll never recover from it. You know what really eats at them? It's not just that you left, it's that you did it without asking for permission. Oh, they hate that. They hate the idea that you could just decide to walk away, that you had the audacity to say, "I'm done." Because in their minds, you were theirs, their toy, their project, their little experiment. And now you're the one calling the shots. That's why they'll do everything to make you second guess yourself. They'll tell you you're overreacting, that you're being dramatic. But you and I both know that's just their fear talking. Fear. It's a funny thing, isn't it? It makes people do stupid things, like cling to someone who's already gone, like try to rewrite history to make themselves look like the heroes. But here's the thing about fear. It's contagious. And right now, They're hoping to infect you with it. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to think, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should go back. But let me ask you this. What exactly are you going back to? The lies? The manipulation? The endless cycle of giving and giving while they take and take? You don't owe them anything. Not your time, not your energy, and sure as hell, not your forgiveness. Forgiveness? That's just another leash they'll try to put around your neck. They'll call it closure, but what they really mean is control. Let me tell you something about control. It's the only thing they understand. They thrive on it, feed off it like parasites. And when you walked away, you didn't just take yourself, you took their control. And now they're floundering, trying to figure out how to live without it. But here's the truth. They never cared about you. Not really. They cared about what you could do for them, about how you made them feel, about how they could use you to fill the void in their own empty lives. And you let them, because you wanted to be needed, wanted to be loved, wanted to matter. But let me ask you this. Did you matter to them? Or were you just convenient? Think about it. How many times did you put them first, only for them to throw it back in your face? How many times did you bite your tongue, swallow your pride, just to keep the peace? And for what? For their approval, their affection, their crumbs of attention? No, not anymore. You've woken up now. You've seen the truth. And the truth is, you deserve better. You always did. But here's the thing. They'll never admit that. They'll never say, you were right. They'll never give you the satisfaction of hearing them say, I'm sorry. Because admitting they were wrong would mean facing their own flaws. And people like them. They'd rather burn the whole damn world down than look in the mirror. So don't wait for an apology. Don't wait for closure. Because the only closure you're ever going to get, it's the one you give yourself. Closure isn't a conversation. It's not some magical moment where everything suddenly makes sense. No, closure is a decision. It's the moment you look at the situation and say, I'm done carrying this. And then you let it go. But letting go, that's the hard part, isn't it? Because even though they hurt you, even though they drained you, there's still a part of you that misses them. The memories, the moments, the version of them you thought was real. That's the trap. That's what keeps people stuck. They hold on to the past, onto the what could have been, instead of facing the cold, hard reality of what was. So here's my advice. Mourn the loss. Feel the pain. Let yourself grieve. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it pull you back into their web. You've got to keep moving forward step by step, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts, because every step away from them is a step toward freedom, toward healing, toward a life that's truly yours. And make no mistake, this is about you, not them not their lies, their games, their twisted little narratives. This is about reclaiming your power, your voice, your identity, because they never thought you had the strength to walk away. But now they know, and trust me, they'll never recover from it. You've already done the hardest part, kid. You left. Now, it's time to live. Not just survive. Not just exist. Live. Live so fully, so boldly, so unapologetically that your very existence becomes a middle finger to everyone who ever doubted you. Because at the end of the day, that's the best revenge. Not their pain, not their regret. Your joy, your freedom, your success. You think they'll just forget about you? Nah. They'll remember you every single day. Every moment you're not there will feel like a weight they can't shake off. And that weight? Oh, it's crushing. Because it's not just about you leaving. It's about what your absence says. See, when you walked away, you didn't just leave a void. You left a statement. You told them, I'm better than this, better than you. And that's the thing. They can't stomach. That's what keeps them awake at night. But let's dig a little deeper, huh? Let's get to the real meat of it. They thought they owned you, that they had you figured out, that you'd always play your part, nod along, and keep your head down. But when you left, you flipped their whole damn world upside down. It's like ripping a mask off someone who's been hiding for years. You exposed them, not to the world, but to themselves. And trust me, they hate you for it, because now they're forced to see what they really are. Manipulators, liars, cowards. But don't you dare feel bad for them. Don't you dare let their pity plays reel you back in. You're smarter than that now, stronger. You've learned that their tears, their apologies, they're just weapons in disguise. Let me give you an example. Picture this. A wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. Looks innocent, right? Harmless. But the moment you turn your back, the teeth come out. That's them. They'll say whatever it takes, do whatever it takes to get you back under their control. Because here's the thing, they don't miss you. They miss what you gave them. The attention, the validation, the power. That's what they're really mourning. And you're not playing that game anymore. You've leveled up. You've taken their rules, their little chessboard, and flipped it right off the table. But let's not sugarcoat it. The road ahead, it's going to be brutal, lonely. You're going to have nights where the silence feels like it's screaming at you, where the weight of your decisions feels like it's crushing your chest. But those nights, they're the price of freedom. And freedom? Oh, it's worth every tear, every ache, every damn sleepless night. Because once you taste it, real freedom, you'll never go back. Let me tell you a little story. There was this bird locked in a cage. Beautiful thing, but it didn't know it could fly. It spent its days staring out the bars, dreaming of the sky. One day, the cage door was left open. And you know what the bird did? It hesitated. It was afraid. Afraid of the unknown, afraid of the world beyond the cage. But eventually, it took that leap. It spread its wings and flew. And yeah, the wind was harsh, the journey rough, but for the first time in its life, it felt alive. That bird, that's you. You've taken the leap. And now it's time to soar. But don't get it twisted. This isn't about revenge. Revenge is a chain, a shackle that ties you to the past. No, this is about redemption, about reclaiming your life, your identity, your worth. And let me tell you, there's nothing more terrifying to them than someone who knows their worth. Because people like them, they thrive on insecurity, they feed off doubt. But you've become their worst nightmare. You become untouchable. And that's the kind of power they'll never understand. Because their power, it's fake, it's borrowed, it's dependent on others. But your power, it's yours, built from the ground up, brick by brick, scar by scar. And those scars, they're not weaknesses, they're proof. Proof that you've survived, that you've endured, that you've come out the other side stronger. So wear them proudly. Let them see. Because every scar tells a story. A story of pain, yes, but also of resilience, of growth, of transformation. And you're still writing your story, but this time you're the author. Not them, not anyone else, just you. So keep writing, keep walking, keep proving them wrong, because they never thought you had the strength to walk away. But now they know, and they'll never forget it. And neither will you. But here's the thing. You owe it to yourself to keep going. Not for them. Not to prove anything to anyone, but for you. You've come too far to turn back now. The chains you broke, they were forged over years, each link a memory, a betrayal, a lie. Breaking free wasn't just an act of defiance. It was an act of survival. And survival, that's the ultimate rebellion in a world that tried to crush you. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every breath you take, every moment you refuse to go back is a triumph. You're not just walking away from them, you're walking towards something greater, toward the life you deserve. The freedom you fought so hard for. And that's what will haunt them the most. Not their loss, but your gain. They'll spend their days wondering what could have been, replaying every conversation, every moment, trying to figure out where they went wrong. But don't let their regrets anchor you. Their guilt is theirs to bear, not yours. You've carried enough weight, enough pain, it's time to let it go, to leave it behind, and to rise above it all. Because in the end, it's not about where you came from. It's about where you're going. And you're going somewhere they can't follow. Somewhere they'll only dream of reaching. They never thought you had the strength to walk away. But now they know. And as you carve out your path, as you build the life they never believed you could, they'll watch from the sidelines, powerless, as you become everything they said you couldn't be.